Senators have just voted to reject moving forward with the bipartisan infrastructure bill. It was a vote of 51 to 49. This was, again, a procedural vote that Senate Leader Chuck Schumer had insisted be held today. CBSN Washington reporter Caitlin Huey-Burns is on Capitol Hill and joins us now. Hi, Caitlin. So what happens now that this procedural vote has been rejected? We did see Senator Schumer come up for a moment there and ask that the vote be reconsidered. What was that about exactly?
Hi, Tanya. That's right. So if you heard Chuck Schumer there, he switched his vote to vote no. And you may ask, well, why would Schumer vote against this bill, considering that he wanted to bring it up in the first place? That's all a procedural tactic. The majority leader can switch the vote to no, and that would enable him to bring it back up again later. What's happened here on Capitol Hill today is you've had this bipartisan group of negotiators, Republicans and Democrats, working late into the night last night and early this morning to hash out a framework of legislation focused on a very narrow definition of traditional infrastructure. They say that they are making progress, but they have not yet made a firm deal, and they do not yet have legislative text. So if you were listening to the vote, you saw all of the Republicans vote against moving forward here, and all of the Democrats for moving ahead with this vote. And now Schumer, because he voted no, can bring this back up again later. And up here on Capitol Hill, you've had Republicans urging Schumer to push this vote until Monday to allow them more time to come together with some kind of legislative framework that they can agree upon and then move forward to debating this bill. Because Republicans up here have been arguing all day that they can't vote to move forward on something that doesn't quite exist yet. So you may have heard people like Mitt Romney and Rob Portman vote against moving forward. And you may ask, well, aren't these the same lawmakers who are part of this bipartisan group working on legislation? That is true. They have been hammering out those details, but because they weren't able to reach an agreement by this hour and want more time, they voted against proceeding. But they did, urge for a vote next week and say that if they're able to come up with a framework, that they would be amenable to moving forward with debate here.
So what is the timeline now at this point, now that Senator Schumer changed his vote to no so that he can bring it up again? Has he said when? Will it be as soon as Monday, perhaps?
Well, that's certainly what lawmakers up here want to see, and whether he agrees to that remains to be seen. We're waiting to see what kind of statement that he makes. We also know some of the Democrats, as part of this bipartisan group, are going to release a statement any minute now addressing this and perhaps talking about next steps. So what are the major sticking points? Why haven't they been able to reach a deal at this point? Well, the sticking points are really the same that we've been talking about for weeks. It's essentially how to actually pay for this proposal. So that's what they've been trying to iron out today in the details, and we'll see whether they are able to release something this week that at least shows some kind of forward momentum here. But that's the reason that Schumer wanted to have this vote in the first place. He knew that it was going to fail. We all knew that it was going to fail, but it really worked in terms of getting these negotiators to advance on something, because they've been working on this for, it's been a month since Biden agreed. Biden essentially shook hands with this group to say that they had reached a deal, and we still haven't seen any sort of tangible framework yet. So this was all designed to kind of get everybody to the table, get them to actually start moving here. Whether this pays off or whether it was a risky move, remains to be seen. And that's what we're going to be watching for in the next few minutes here, what Schumer decides to do next.
And Caitlin, this doesn't indicate that the bipartisan infrastructure bill itself is in any peril, correct? There's still a lot of support on both sides of the aisle to get this through. I mean, I think we just want to be clear for viewers, this was simply a procedural vote. This is not, an indication that this infrastructure bill, this bipartisan infrastructure bill, is in great peril, correct?
It's a really good point, Tanya, that there has been no legislative text, so it's not like they were voting on an actual piece of legislation. This was really to just open up the debate on the bill, to really just get it going. Republicans have been saying up here all day that they want to get to some kind of agreement. And the reason why is because when you look at our CBS News polling, for example, some of the parameters when it comes to regular infrastructure, investments in roads and bridges, investments in broadband, they're widely popular, have a lot of bipartisan support. So there is political incentive for Republicans to get on board with traditional infrastructure investments. And you've heard people like Rob Portman say that, look, as we're talking about the rising inflation, as we're talking about increased prices, investments in infrastructure can help spur the economy in the longer term. So there is that incentive. But again, the devil is always in the details. So while we've been hearing for the past 24 hours that they're close to an agreement, everybody seems to be working towards some kind of solution here in terms of the bipartisan framework, we still haven't seen the details yet. So there still could be a chance that they aren't able to get to something, but they've been trying to sound positive notes all day here.
Any news of what came out of that 11th hour lunch meeting between some of those bipartisan senators? Do we know if there was any progress made there?
Well, we know that some of the Democrats coming out of that meeting said that they would be releasing a statement after today's vote. So it seemed like they knew they weren't going to get to any sort of real tangible agreement by the end of that luncheon or, of course, by this vote today. But they have been asking for a little more time. So we're awaiting that statement to see kind of what the next steps are and what exactly they can agree to. Again, the main focal point is how to pay for this program. There had been some talk on the table a couple of days ago involving greater enforcement from the IRS in terms of tax enforcement. That has been taken off the table. That was designed to raise some revenue, but the issue of taxes is kind of really critical here for both sides, not wanting to, Republicans not wanting to do much to reform the tax code in any way, Democrats not wanting to do anything that would raise taxes on those who they say they wouldn't raise taxes on. So that is kind of the big question about how to actually pay for this program, and that's what these lawmakers are trying to iron out over time. But they need, Congress needs a deadline to do anything, and so that's really why Schumer was bringing this up here. They're a lot like journalists in a way. We need some kind of deadline to get us into some kind of movement. But we'll see whether this was a good bet by Schumer or a risky one.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, Caitlin Huey-Burns on Capitol Hill, thank you so much.
Thank you.